What's good, everybody? It is Sunday, December 18th. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it is not close. A tip of the cap this morning as we start a very busy day at the brand to the World Cup. They have given us 30 days of immense entertainment. If you watched our Futures episode, then you know that the Guru had Argentina beating either France or England. Argentina and France are playing today. And Mbappe or Messi leading the World Cup and scoring at plus 1,200 and plus 900, and they are tied for the lead today. So if you bet any of those, enjoy the game. Also, as a brand, we're on both teams to score. Now, what did we do yesterday? Well, if you missed any of the games, my goodness, you only missed the greatest comeback in the history of the NFL. Vikings, they clinched the division. The Browns proved that the Ravens do stink, and also the Bills in the snow. An 8-point comeback late to get it done, 35-32 at home. We had a decent day, 9-7 overall, I believe was the total. But today we have 6 more 1 o'clock games. We have 4 more 4 o'clock games. We have the World Cup to watch. We have the NBA. We have the NHL. But our focus is the NFL. So you know who I've got, the stars of the show. Let's bring him in first, live from somewhere in New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Maestro. He never misses an opportunity. I'm glad the equipment worked on the road, Larry.
There's no way I would miss Sunday morning with you guys. Come on.
Come on, let's go. Also live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. He's been on an island. It seems like every day there's a primetime game, but Mikey, that island has been very profitable. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, I'm on the island on 2 other games today as well. We'll see if those shake out the right way for me or not, but been a good run in the NFL for sure.
My guess is it will. And speaking of NFL, he runs everything NFL. Here at SportsLine, he is the stoic one, R.J. White. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Pair of exciting games yesterday, including my Bills getting the win, and then an awful game sandwiched in between. So hopefully we can get more of the exciting games and less of the awful games today.
I was lucky. I was on the golf course with my son yesterday. So right when that Browns game was being played. So it was a glorious day for me. Sal says, what's the island? I think he wants to go there with Mikey. It's a very, 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 very densely populated island. You won't be able to find him. All right, let's get into it. Storylines could affect the betting lines. And today, as I look at my notes, Maestro, there is a big-time matchup in the Meadowlands. Can the Detroit Lions continue to push forward? But we now have an interesting quarterback matchup. Start us off.
Yeah, it's only a few miles from where I'm sitting, and it's not all that, imposing in terms of the weather. The wind is not going to be super strong, and it's not going to be, 10 or 15 degrees. And Jared Goff, we have seen him struggle outdoors, and 20 touchdowns, 3 picks at home, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks on the road. But it's really not that imposing right now of a weather day. And on the other side, you have Zach Wilson starting because Mike White has the broken ribs. And some of the columnists in New York asking the fans, don't boo Zach Wilson. Give him a chance before you start booing him. I mean, he is in a precarious place after the way he didn't take responsibility a few weeks ago, but he says he's changed. He said he's looser. He's just going to relax and have fun, but we'll see what happens if the Lions get out to a lead. But the thing that really jumps out to me is Quinnen Williams. This guy might be the best defensive lineman in the entire league. Did not practice all week. Questionable with the calf injury. If he plays, probably won't be 100%. This guy's got 11 sacks. He blows up the middle of that line for the Jets. So we'll see what happens with him. On the other side, Aiden Hutchinson, the rookie for the Lions, had an illness, but he was able to practice Friday. He's expected to play. He leads all rookies with 7 sacks and 39 pressures. So interesting game shaping up just a few miles from where I'm sitting.
And no doubt we will break this down completely during the noon hour on Early Edge Live. But the quarterbacks, that's a big-time topic today, RJ, and there's a lot of backups that are going to be taking the reins at a very pivotal part of the season. Talk to me.
Yeah, Zach Wilson back, as Larry noted. We'll dive into that more with my picks, but that line was 1. It's up to 2 now, so it looks like everybody has a lot of faith in Zach Wilson, which is interesting. Drew Biskey made the line Pittsburgh plus 2.5. Pittsburgh +3, -120 at some places. Look ahead, what's Pittsburgh -2.5. So it's a huge downgrade in the market to Trubisky from Pickett. I don't know if that's warranted or not. It's not like Pickett has been good, but it's not like he's running all over these defenses and lighting up the scoreboard. Ritter takes over for Atlanta. That line was around 4, stayed around 4 all week. It's up to 4.5 right now. I don't know. It might be an upgrade with Ritter because Mariota wasn't playing well either. So we'll see how that shakes out here. But 4.5 seems like it's a little high there. And then you get the battle of the backups in Arizona, Denver. News Wilson is out. Moved the line from +3 to +1.5 for Arizona. We knew it would be McCoy, so there was obviously that was known all the way throughout the week. So apparently there's a 1.5 point adjustment for the news that Wilson's definitely out rather than questionable. And we'll see if Brett Rippon can cover as a favorite with his terrible Denver offense.
And my guess is that Russell Wilson probably will be done for the year. I mean, he cleared protocols, but they're not playing him because they're not going to make the playoffs. They already guaranteed him another $200 million plus. Why would you play him at this point? We'll see. Now, there are 7 games in the National Basketball Association. Only 2 start at the same time. So if you're an NBA bettor, you can kind of space your bets out throughout the day. But you must know who is playing, because if you bet the last 3 or 4 days, you've been as frustrated as we are. Teams that announce in the morning that players are playing, then in the evening, they don't get it done. So the injury report, never more important than it is right now. That's why M Squared is always on top of it for us. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Mikey, what do we got?
Yeah, we got a few spots to note here. Number one, note Steph Curry is out, going to be out for extended time here. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green have been on the injury report mostly for rest. They are expected back today, but always monitor that. For Minnesota, this one's pretty big. D'Angelo Russell and Rudy Gobert, both listed as questionable again tonight. Both missed their last game. They are currently 1.5 point home underdogs in this game, indicating at least one of the two is likely to sit again. Murray and Jokic for Denver, both listed on the injury report as probable. I expect them to go, but don't be shocked if you see news on one of them sitting at some point here. They're favored pretty handily against a Charlotte team in Denver here. So just monitor that. OG Anunoby remains out for the Toronto Raptors. This is important because it's really impacted their defensive rating. They're going to be playing against the Golden State Warriors here without Steph Curry, still only 5.5 point favorites. Expect some pace of play there. And then for the Wizards, Bradley Beal, once again listed on the injury report. We'll see if he's going to return here. Anthony Davis already ruled out for the Lakers. Thomas Bryant will start in his place in a revenge game against his former team.
Yeah, those two teams playing at 6:30 p.m. local time where I'm sitting right now, so 9:30 late tonight. Wizards and the Lakers from crypto.com.org.eu arena here in Los Angeles. All right, let's get to our board for the day because we got a lot of best bets to get through throughout the day. And by the way, it's a busy day at the brand. If I haven't told you, we've got multiple shows throughout the day. In fact, at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we will break down all the 6 1 p.m. games, and the 4 p.m. games, and of course 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, as we do for every single primetime game. It's Early Edge Live, counting down to Sunday Night Football. Now, you know I've got to pay my pesky little bills, pay all the salaries for the Early Edge crew. So let's hear from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. For those watching on YouTube or listening on Apple or Spotify, we welcome everybody. It's time for our board today. And I told you, he's been on an island all by himself. And every single night, I read it in the chat. I read it on Twitter. Mikey, what are you doing? And he's been cashing every single time. So, Mikey, start us off today. And what island are you going to sit on this time?
We are going to sit on Zach Wilson here. We're going New York Jets. I got this at -1 about an hour ago. It is moving. It looks like it's going to hit -2. So someone agrees with me or is following me. Not sure what's going on there on that movement because I do expect Williams to not play for the Jets, Quinnen Williams. But I do like this spot for the Jets. I don't believe in the Lions a ton. I definitely don't like backing them when they're not playing indoors in a controlled environment. It's really about offense versus defense. I always side with the elite defense here. That's where the computer is. I make the game close to -3 in this particular spot. This Lions offense, 30th in EPA against the pass, 30th in total EPA defensively here. We have top 5 offense with the Lions. Worst defense against a top 5 defense in the New York Jets here. Wilson, look, I some of the interviews I watched with him here, he and saying the worst of it's already over for him. It can't get any worse. He's going to go out there and have some fun. He still has a lot of great chemistry out there with a few of the players. I think this is a great spot for them to lean on the defense. You couldn't ask for a better matchup defensively to get thrown back in. I think he's going to find some success against this Lions defense. Look, this team's covered 6 straight games. They're at the absolute peak of their market value. I'm going to back the home team at a small number here and lean on the defense. So give me the Jets -1.
All right. I tell you guys all the time, every single day, every single show, you cannot just tune in for the recap screen. We're not here to give you picks. We're here to give you information, and you use the information for yourself. And this is one of those moments why. So Mikey is on the Jets. RJ, I'm coming to you, big boy. What do you like today?
Yeah, I'm playing with fire and going against Mikey here, and I'm going to take Detroit. I would say that the line move worries me with the Sharps being on the Jets, but we saw a massive line move in Browns-Bengals that I was against and had a terrible number going into that game and still covered. So I don't know that the market's always right here. Zach Wilson, he might have chemistry with some people, but that team rallied around White. I mean, they're wearing Mike White shirts after one win. And the offense took off, have 400-plus yard games against 2 bad defenses before the Buffalo game. But still, Zach Wilson couldn't do anything against any defense. So it feels like if he doesn't play well from the jump, the teammates could spiral here. I mean, obviously, it's not great when you have to tell your fans not to boo the starting quarterback. Quinnen out or playing hurt. Detroit's offensive line, the thing that's lost in there is they should be at full strength now. Evan Brown's missed the last few weeks with a high ankle sprain. He is cleared. The only one that's questionable is Frank Ragnow with an illness, but I believe he's going to play. And then we talk about the Detroit and cold weather, Detroit outdoors thing. They played Chicago and the Giants in colder, windier conditions. Both those games were in the mid-30s. Both of the wind there was above 10 miles an hour. This game is supposed to be around 39, I believe, with the wind around 10 miles an hour. They've experienced this the last few weeks, and they've been able to win. Much easier defenses there than obviously the Jets defense, but that Jets defense missing such a key piece in the middle means that I like Detroit. Now that it's at +2, I think you definitely should be teasing it. Look to tease it with a team like Philly, get them down under 3.
I love that a lot. I love that a lot. Now, I was actually taking care of something. Did you give all 3 of your plays out, RJ?
No, I just wanted to give that one because I don't know if you wanted to prime a showdown here, but I'm not taking it at the 1 in a showdown since the market is at 2. So we can talk 2. I can get 2, and Mikey can get 1, and we can split a much bigger middle, whatever you want to do like that.
All right.
I'm definitely not playing a showdown at 1 if the market's at 2.
I like that you stopped. This is a very interesting situation for us. Mikey, what do you say, big boy?
I don't care if we have the showdown or not. I just wanted to point out that RJ is correct. If we get 2s across the market, it's a near automatic teaser leg and something that I will be having. So I will 100% be betting both sides of this game.
Okay. Would you like to have a showdown with RJ at +2 and you at -2?
We'll do a half so we don't push.
Yeah, so let's do -1. That's 1.5.
I think it's
1.5 fine.
Just 1.5 fine. Yeah.
All right, RJ. I love when you say it because it doesn't happen very often. Could you say, "Snake, hit the music, please"?
Snake, hit the music, please.
It's gonna be a showdown.
Oh, that just got my morning going. Damn it, that got my morning going. All right, so now we got a showdown between our 2 goats. 2 of our 3 goats. Oh, I love it. All right, showdown's behind us now, but we have more plays to give out. So, RJ, I'm coming right back to you.
Second play, I talked about teasing Philly just now. I'm teasing them with Arizona. Philly -2.5, Arizona +7.5. Look ahead as Buffalo -10 at Chicago. So I think the market's still underrating Philly at the top here, making them 8.5-point favorites in this game. Chicago's passing attack down Mooney and Claypool, one-dimensional on offense. Philly with their great defense should be able to lock them down. And then on the other side, Denver hasn't won by more than 7 all year, and that was with a healthier team. They're one of the most beat-up teams in the league. I think they had the most injured reserve players in the league this year. They're not going to cover 7.5 with Rippon at quarterback. They needed turnovers to finally score points against Kansas City, and McCoy has not really thrown a lot of interceptions. 2 interceptions in 5 starts the last 2 years. Had 1 interception in a tough matchup coming in cold last week. So I think that they're not going to give them the interceptions they need to cover this number, and Arizona's going to keep it within 7 pretty easily. So like that teaser of Philly and Arizona. And then sticking with that Arizona-Denver game, I have Greg Dulcich over 39.5 receiving yards at -129. He had 8 targets each of his last 2 games, but the offense is more banged up now, and he should get more of a target share. Had 9 targets in Rippon's only other start, and Sutton and Hinton were both healthy there. They're now out in this game. Arizona allows the most yards to tight ends in the NFL, 73 per game. I think targeting him should be the priority for this offense here, so I think he's going over his 39.5 receiving yards.
All right. I encourage everybody to hang tight till the end of the show. If you watch every Sunday, you know we got a little something extra for you. By the way, Tyler says RJ saying that is worth the price of a subscription. I would say it's worth a year subscription. That was amazing. Amazing. All right. Now we've reached the Maestro's spot. Now, Maestro, as I look at my notes, I see 3 different prop bets from 3 different kinds of bets. Floor is yours.
All right. Starting with Mike Williams, over 64.5 receiving yards against the Titans, who give up the most passing yards in the league. Both their starting corners are out. They're also worse at defending the deep ball, which is where Mike Williams thrives. 6 for 116 last week, practiced fully 3 times this week. He's healthy. Love this play. And then 2 plays in Philly, Chicago. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdown passes. He's done it 11 out of 13 times. The Bears have the worst pass defense in the league. And I think they want to get this guy the MVP. I think they're going to put up a big number, which ties into my other play, which is the Eagles over 28.5 points. Since trading Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, the Bears are on a 6-game skid, giving up 33.5 points per game. The worst in that, the lowest amount they've given up was 27 to the Falcons. Every other team has gone over this number, and we know how lethal the Eagles offense is. They're going to roll on the road over 28.5. The weather, again, not too frightful, even though it will be very cold. The wind is about 14 degrees. You know, when it gets to 20, that's when it really starts to affect the passing. But I love both plays. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns. The Eagles over 28.5 points.
I think they could go as high as they did last week when they scored 48 against the Giants. I love that play. Maestro, you got to get out of here. Have a great day, sir. Say goodbye to the Maestro, ladies and gentlemen. He's needed everywhere. Have a good day, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, that is the Maestro, the one and only. Now, grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of Snake on the 1s and the 2s. M squared's on the Jets -1. We got ourselves a little showdown, though. The number is 1.5 because that's where the market is right now. Maestro, 3 big plays. Mike Williams over 64.5 receiving yards. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdown passes in Chicago. And Eagles team total to soar over 28.5. Then the stoic one. He's on the Lions +1 or +1.5, whatever your book has. Then Greg Dulcich over 39.5 receiving yards -129. Then a little teaser. Make sure you have it on the 0.5 point because in a teaser, a push loses. Then the speculator, if you were on with him, Lionel Messi to score, Mbappe to score, and then buckets yesterday or Friday on Argentina, France, both teams to score. And then, of course, our 5-tool player, AB, Gerald Everett, over 32.5 receiving yards, and Derrick Henry over 13.5 receiving yards for the Titans. Now, it's never too early, especially, RJ, for this particular team that's really been rolling. You like them again today, and now it's time for the look ahead for them for next week. What do we like?
Yeah, we're talking about Detroit. The line's actually down to 1.5, so you were right. It came down from 2 to 1.5 at William Hill. I like them next week, -2.5 at Carolina. I think the Carolina offense could struggle against a quality Pittsburgh defense here, and that would lower their status in the market. They seem pretty inflated in the market, considering even though they've won some games recently, they still haven't looked like a great team. And they have Sam Darnold, obviously a quarterback, and some issues on the offensive side of the ball. I made the Detroit case earlier. I think they're a playoff quality team if they win today, and they should be treated as such, be laying 3 against a bad team on the road. I currently have the line in my power rankings as Detroit -4. So as long as Detroit doesn't get bodied here, I think it's going to be 3.
All right. And that gives that 0.5 point of value is huge when you're talking about the numbers the guys always tell you about, 3, 7, 10. All right. I don't know which one I'm going to go with today, but I love that we have a showdown between our 2 amazing GOATs in the NFL. All right. Remember, 2 more big shows today, noon p.m. Eastern time and 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. But with that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for my entire crew. Damn it, do I love them all. Stoic one, RJ White, M squared, the Maestro, Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. I am the coach. We're here all day long. Settle in, pay it forward, spend time with your family, have a good time, and it all starts every single day right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.